If you think she forgot you just because she stopped talking, that's cap. What actually happens after she goes quiet messes with her head way more than yours. And once you understand this one shift, you'll realize she never really left. She just stopped showing it. It's late, too late. Your phone's face down on the bed like it might bite you if you look at it again. Room's quiet, but your head isn't. That stupid hum. The replay. You tell yourself she forgot you. Had to. That's the only way this silence makes sense, right? If this is you, lying there, scrolling old messages you swore you deleted, checking her profile even though you muted it, telling yourself, I'm good, I don't care, but your chest tightens anyway. Yeah, this hits close. Maybe this hits closer than you expected. Because it's not the big things that mess you up. It's the small ones. The way she used to say your name. That inside joke nobody else gets. That random song that comes on while you're driving and suddenly, boom, you're back there. And you hate that part of you that still wonders. Did I screw it up? Did I wait too long? Was I too much or not enough? You don't say that out loud. You keep it chill. Tell your boys you're over it. Say she moved on, you're unbothered, you're straight. But at night, different story. Because silence feels like rejection, like you got replaced, like you were forgettable. And that thought low-key wrecks you. But here's the part nobody tells you, and I almost don't want to say it yet. When someone really forgets you, it's quiet in a different way. Clean, final. This messy, heavy, can't sleep, random memory at 3 a.m. feeling, that's something else. So let me ask you this, and don't dodge it, don't brush it off. If she truly forgot you, why does it still feel like something unfinished is hanging in the air, waiting for someone to blink first? I'm gonna say this straight, no gas, no drama. Most men read this situation wrong. They think silence means she forgot them. Like a switch got flipped. Like feelings just packed up and dipped. That's not how people work. What usually happens is quieter than that. She doesn't forget. She pulls. Different thing. I've seen it 100 times. You're standing in the kitchen late at night. Fridge light on, phone in your hand. Thumb hovering. You tell yourself, don't text, don't be that guy. So you don't. And you think she's doing the same thing on the other side, but calmer, more detached. Most of the time, she's not calm. She's just choosing not to show it. Here's the myth men buy into. If she cared, she'd reach out. Sounds logical. Feels clean. It's also wrong. Caring doesn't always move forward. Sometimes it freezes. Sometimes pride steps in. Sometimes fear does. Another myth. If she's with someone else, I'm erased. Nah, life doesn't delete memories like that. They get buried, and buried things show up when you least expect it. A smell, a place, a dumb meme, something small that hits harder than it should. Here's a principle most men don't like. Control isn't strength. Composure is. The guy who panics and chases loses leverage. Every time, the guy who stands still handles his business, keeps his word to himself. That energy lingers, even in silence. Another truth, short and uncomfortable. If she really forgot you, you wouldn't feel this tension. It would be flat, dead, no edge. So, before you tell yourself you're done, before you write your own story and make it heavier than it needs to be, ask yourself this, is she gone? Or is this just the space where two people are trying not to feel something they haven't finished feeling yet? The room's quiet, but not peaceful. That kind of quiet that rings in your ears. AC humming. Streetlight bleeding through the blinds. Your phone buzzes, not her, and your chest drops anyway. You tell yourself she forgot you, had to. People don't just disappear for no reason, right? You sit there, hoodie on, even though it's not cold. Just feels safer. Your thumb scrolls past her name fast, like if you slow down it'll pull you back in. You think, don't be dumb. Don't spiral. But your brain doesn't care what you tell it. Something random hits. The way she used to pause before answering serious questions. That half second, like she was choosing honesty over comfort. You didn't clock it then. Now it's loud. You wonder if she ever thinks about that night. The one where neither of you said what you actually meant, where the air felt heavy and you joked instead, played it cool, acted like you had time. You get up, grab water, forget to drink it, just stand there, kitchen light too bright. You think if I mattered, she'd reach out. Then right after, or maybe she's doing the same stupid math I am. Your chest tightens. Annoying. You hate that it still has weight, hate that silence can feel this loud. Because here's the messed up part. When someone's really gone, it doesn't feel like this. It's clean. Almost boring. This feels unfinished. Like a sentence cut off mid, and that thought sneaks in, low, key dangerous, if she really forgot you. Why does it still feel like the moment before someone says your name? A lot of men carry the same quiet beliefs without realizing how much damage they do. One of them is this: if she cared, she would have reached out. I used to believe that too. Hard. I remember staring at my phone in my car after work, engine off, just sitting there like a fool, thinking if I mattered, I'd hear from her. What I didn't see back then is that caring doesn't always move forward. Sometimes it locks up. Sometimes pride and fear tag team it. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself. Another belief sneaks in right after. She replaced me, so I'm done. I've been there. You see a photo, a story, some dude leaning a little too close. Your stomach drops. You tell yourself it's over. But replacement isn't erasure. People don't delete emotional weight like an app. They cover it up and keep going. You don't lose her. You lose your own presence. The last one's subtle but lethal's. If I just explain myself better, she'll understand. Nah, that's chasing clarity when what's missing is gravity. Attention is cheap. Respect is priceless. This stuff doesn't hit all at once. It comes slow, like waking up and realizing the room looks different, but you can't say why yet. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Most of the pain isn't about her forgetting you. It's about you forgetting who you were when you stood solid, before you started shrinking to be understood. This is what the 1% headmen understand. Silence isn't a loss, it's a mirror. Most men hear nothing and start spiraling. They overthink, double text, try to explain themselves in irrelevance. That's panic talking. The 1% headman doesn't do that, not because he doesn't care, because he's centered. This is how he leads, with presence, not pressure. When there's no reply, he doesn't rush to fill the space. He sits with it, lets the moment breathe, keeps his routine tight. Gym, work, sleep, boring stuff, solid stuff. He understands something most men miss. Energy carries farther than words. You don't chase respect, you embody it. I've watched this guy choose patience over panic in small ways. Phone lights up, not her. He exhales instead of reacting, puts the phone face down, finishes what he's doing. Strength isn't loud. It doesn't post cryptic quotes. It doesn't flex online. It moves steady when no one's watching. This is what he understands. If she really forgot him, there'd be nothing to hold, no tension, no pull. So he doesn't force outcomes, doesn't beg for clarity, doesn't chase closure like it's oxygen. He stays grounded, handles his life, keeps his word to himself. And here's the wild part, that kind of calm, low-key unforgettable. It doesn't happen during a big speech. No dramatic music, just a moment that slips in when you're not ready. He's brushing his teeth. Bathroom light too bright, mirror a little fogged. He pauses. Stares at himself longer than usual. Not judging, just noticing. A memory flashes, her name lighting up his phone. Then another one, his thumb hovering. Waiting. That low, key, desperate pause he hates remembering. His chest tightens, then loosens, like something finally lets go. He hears it almost whispered, "I'm done shrinking." It lands soft, but the weight of it is heavy as hell. Another flash, him explaining himself over and over, trying to be understood instead of standing solid, chasing clarity like it would save him. He spits, rinses. Water runs too loud in the sink, grounds him. And then it snaps, not anger, not bitterness. Just clarity. She didn't take his value. He handed it over. That hits like a dropped weight. He dries his hand slow. Phone buzzes in the other room. He doesn't rush. Doesn't even wonder. For the first time, the silence doesn't feel like rejection. It feels like space. Space to stand tall again. To move clean. To stop performing for memory. He walks out knowing one thing: whoever stays next meets him whole or not at all. So maybe she didn't forget you. Maybe she just stopped chasing what stopped standing still. Silence isn't always absence. Sometimes it's a test. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's two people pretending they don't feel what they still do. You felt it in the quiet, the weight, the unfinished edge. That wasn't weakness. That was awareness. The moment you stopped reaching, something shifted. Not in her, in you. You didn't lose her. You lost the version of yourself that begged to be chosen. And that's a win, even if it doesn't feel like one yet. Because here's the truth, raw, no cap. When you remember who you are, the silence stops hurting, it starts talking. And what it says is this: you were never forgotten. You were being remembered from a distance.